The current fiscal year has figuratively been set rolling as the Finance Ministry disbursed funds for the first quarter. 4.8 trillion shillings has been apportioned for the various development projects and public service. Quarterly allocations for wages, non-wage and development have equivalent shares disbursed. Specifically, 169.9 billion shillings has been allocated for pension payments to civil servants and 147.7 billion shillings for gratuity payments and the rest to education, health and infrastructure works.
140.241 billion shillings, that is 25% of the approved annual budget, has been provided to the national medical stores for the purchase of essential medicines and drugs. We protect the budget for NMS to ensure that they buy the medicines that Ugandans need in a timely manner. So we have released their quarterly budget fully. 50 billion shillings has been also provided to UNRA and Ministry of Works to pay certificates for the ongoing projects. 91 billion has been provided to universities in line with the semester requirements.
We appreciate Ministry of Finance specifically for releasing the money early, because the prevalent excuse that local governments especially have been giving late releases. This was a previous complaint, but along the way Ministry has been addressing it, and we highly appreciate. Because of that, they have always been saying we are not able to ban. The ban rate has been low because of late releases. But then they do not have an excuse now. At least having released the money by 6th of July, it's really early enough for them now to do. Which brings again the question of preparedness that local governments and of course the MDAs need to do early planning if it's issues of procurement, so that by the time the money is released like this, you hit the road and do the activity.
With a central bank rate maintained at 10% and taxpayers saved 1.9 trillion shillings in interest costs, 13.6 trillion shillings was returned to the office of the Prime Minister due to low absorption. Delayed implementation of financial projects and accumulating arrears has incited call for physical discipline by CS Bag. On a positive note, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development confirms innovation that prevented losses amounting to 2 trillion shillings.
In fact, we are told that 13.6 billion was returned to the Treasury by the OPM due to low absorption capacity in the financial 2021-2022. And definitely this affects delivery of services. We also believe that as the accountant general is compiling the accounts, surely money will return back. We would like to note, PSST, the steps you are taking to ensure that this money that we intend to execute this financial year is actually absorbed on time and also on budget. Remembering that we also have our PDM, which we know that has been struggling in absorbing money. The other element, PSST, is the delayed implementation of government projects, and we know this has been a very key challenge in our public investment management. We also want to know, as we start the new financial year, the steps we are taking to address this particular challenge. The accumulation of arrears, you talked about it, Chair. We know that there are only two options to stop the accumulation of arrears. One is to stop accumulating them itself.
Reduce the cost of borrowing. One on government, and we came up with an innovative way of doing it. We got a currency, a cross-currency kind of model, and going forward, we are going to explore more innovative ways. Now, that cross-currency innovation that we made, I'll ask you, the director of debt, if you want more details, to give you the details, helped us to get the money to finance the budget as we had budgeted, but at a cost which is nearly 2 trillion lower than we should have paid.
Budgetary performance is still linked to fiscal discipline and staying within available resources. This includes controlled borrowing to uphold macroeconomic stability, while strong sanctions are in place for non-compliant accounting officers.
An accounting officer who is going to disregard this guidance this financial year is going to be sanctioned. You make any request for supplementary that is not within the prescribed provisions, that accounting officer is going to be sanctioned by this ministry and by me in person.
Ronah Nahabwe, Smart24 TV, Business Today.